Hi everyone, in this video we will learn about data manipulation for vector and data frame with R. So here we will learn some basic data manipulation, for example, how to create, multiply, divide, add, subtract, append, summarize, subset, and so on for vector and data frame. So the R script that I use in this video, you can download using this link, and you can find this link in the video description. So if you click to here, and then it will direct you to the GitHub page, and you just click to this icon to download the file, and then you can open this file with RStudio. And here is the R script in RStudio. So if I want to create a vector of random numbers, for example, here, you just use this command. So now I have a vector of 20 elements with random number from 0 to 1. And if I want to append a number 6 to the last location of this vector, I just use this command append 6 to x. So now this vector has number 6 at the last location, and the length of the vector is not 20 but 21, 19, 20, 21. So you can say the length of this is now 21. And if I want to append the number 9 after the third location, so I want to put the number 9 to this location, I just say append x9 and 3. And now you can see here x. So here, after the third location, and the length of the vector should be 22, because we just add another number to it. And if I want to select a subset of this vector, for example, I only want to take the elements from 1 to 10th, and at the 12th location, I just say x here from 1 to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, and then at the 12th location, Control Enter, and now X in here. See that number from 1 to 11, 8, 9, 10, 0.6, and 12 is 0.627 here. And if I want to do some math operators for this vector, for example, if I want to multiply this vector with 2, just use this operator. So x is now multiplied with 2. So 0.03 now 0.06. So it multiply all elements of this vector to 2 with 2, and I can also divide it by 3 and add it by x minus by 4 and so on, plus with 5. So all of the operation in here will be done for all elements. Control Enter. So now we have here. And if I want to modify specific elements of this vector, I just tell that for the third element in here, originally is 0.1 here. I just want to change this element by, I want to have the new element is 2 plus 3 minus 1 times with 0. It is 4. For example, now x3 should be 4. And the x vector should be here, this number should be 4. And if I want to find the max number, Control Enter here, max is 43, mean 1.0, and the mean 6.5, 6.25, and the median. And if I want to summarize some statistics, for example, mean first quartile, median, and mean, and so on here. And if we want to sort, for example, here, the original values. If I want to sort decreasing, just use the function sort x decreasing equals true. Or if I want to sort and return the index, for example, which element is the highest, for example, sort here x decreasing true index return. And so now my sorted value, sorted x is a list. For example, class of sorted x is now a list of x and ix. X is the sorted value, yeah, here, and ix is the index. So the number, the element, the fourth element is the highest number. Original x in here, 1, 2, 3, fourth. So the fourth element is the highest number. Or I can find which x equals to max in here. It should be the number 4. Yes. Or I want to find which x here. I want to find which elements in x vector is greater than the mean. Control enter, which. So only this number is greater than the mean. Now for a data frame, we can create a data frame. For example, a data frame here is use the function data frame. Data frame which contains only one column is the date. And here I want to generate the sequence of date from the first of 2030 to the last day of 2030 with the format of year, month, date, and increment by day. I want control enter. And here my data frame is now here. It contains only one column is date, starting from 2030, increase by 1, and ends in 2030, December 31st. If I want to get the dimension of this data frame, the number of rows and number of columns, just use the function dim and data frame, control enter. So it has 365 rows and 1 column. Or I can, if I want to get the number of rows, just use number of row data frame here, should be 365. And the number of column should be 1. And if I want to add another column to this data frame, for example, I want to add a column with a name value. I can say here data frame $sign value, and I generate 365 numbers here. Control enter, and now my data frame in here. So it has a new column with the name value. So when we want to add the new column, the length of the new column should equals to the number of row of this data frame. For example, I just want to create a simple plot in here to see X is the date and Y is the value, and the type of plot is line, L is line, or point, back to line. This is a very simple plot. And if we want to access own values of the second column, I use this. So the first is empty, the second is the row index, the column index. So own value of the second column. Or you can access it by the column name. For example, here, data frame, $sign, and column name. So what is the advantage and disadvantage of using the column name? For example, if I change the column name, so I cannot access by this. But when I change the column name, the order of the column does not change. So I can still use this to access own value of the second column. So if you want to access own values of the third row, you can put the row index to here and left it empty. So here, or if I want to access a specific value, so for example, in the third row and second column, third row, second column, Control Enter. Or if I want to add own value in the value column with the value 3, I can use this command. So now the updated value are increased by 3. And if I want to modify specific value, for example, this value in the third column, 7, second row to 4, example here now, should be 4. Or if I want to get a column name, I just use the command column name and data frame. Control Enter, here my day and value. Or if I want to change the column name, I change the first, for example, instead of day, I change to time, and value I change to data. Control Enter. And now the order of my column and row should not be changed. It's still the same here. So it should be 4. So the third row and second column should be 4. But now my data frame value, I cannot access it because I had changed the column name, but I still can access by using the column index. So if I want to subset my data frame, for example, I want to get only the rows number from 1 to 10 and own column. For example, here I have the first 10 rows and own column. Or if I want to select the data frame which has the time smaller than this date, which is I want to get the data for January only. Control Enter. So you see here only data for January. Or if I want to get the subset of my data frame with the data values greater than the mean here, only the one that greater than the mean. And if I want, for example, to subset, I can also using the command subset in here. So there's many different ways. For example, the subset of my data frame, the condition is that the data should greater than the mean and the time should be smaller than this time. Control Enter. And here, yeah. So the first value was not selected because it does not meet this condition. If I want to aggregate, for example, sum up all my data frame here, again, if I want to sum up all of my values by month, for example, I should create the month column, Control Enter, and now can click here. Now my data frame here is the month. And I want to sum up the data here by month. And so I say that aggregate my data is data frame, and I aggregate this column by month. So I use data month, and I use the function of sum. Control Enter. Now here I have the first month sum up of this is 113, and the second month, and so on. And there are many other packages that you can used for data manipulation. For example, here in this website, you can see the comparison of the time that required for each packages. For example, with the data table package is relatively fast if you do some data manipulation with the data which has 1 billion rows and 9 columns, which is around 50 gigabyte of data. Or if it with smaller data, it doesn't change much. Yeah, but when you work with very, very large data, you should consider the time when you do some data manipulation, for example, using polars or data table package or data frame GL or other. Yeah, thanks for your interest.